I have three very different 40mm or equivalent lens camera combinations with me now that I'm traveling, so I thought, why don't we make a little fun comparison? Hi guys, my name is Matti Sulanto. Welcome to another video from Melbourne, Australia. The cameras that I have is the Ricoh GR3x, and then I have the Viltrox 20mm F1.2 prime lens that I'm using with my Sony a6700. I can't show you my camera because that's the camera I'm using to film this video. Then I have the full frame Sony a7 Mark IV and the 40mm Sony F2.5 lens mounted on this camera. 40mm focal length or something equivalent in other than full frame format has become very popular, and many photographers, me included, think it's probably one of the, or maybe the best focal length. This is not going to be any kind of a pixel peep comparison, but rather a user case comparison. Why would you choose one over the other? Now let's compare the angle of view of these three lenses. It's not the most important thing to compare, but let's do it because we can. The full frame 40mm Sony lens is the only true 40mm lens here. The Viltrox is 27mm, of course, and the Ricoh is 26.1mm. I'm gonna put these on a tripod one by one, and let's see how they compare. I'm gonna start with the Sony because it's the only true 40mm here. Let's put it on a tripod. Yes, like so. f5.6 is a good aperture to do this, aperture priority. And the next up is the Viltrox 27mm lens and aperture priority again. The last but not least, the GR, and three pictures to make sure. Now when we look at the pictures, it looks like the Ricoh GR3x lens is the widest and the Viltrox 27mm is the narrowest, and the Sony 40mm sits right in between those two. And also when we calculate the equivalent focal length, the Ricoh lens should be around 39mm and the Viltrox is about 40.5mm and this is 40mm, so it makes sense that the Ricoh is the widest and the Viltrox is sort of the longest of these three. However, the difference in the angle of view between these three lenses is so minor that it has absolutely no real-world significance. The GR3x is one of my favorite cameras ever, and of these three it's by far the most compact and the most convenient and most inconspicuous and easiest to carry around. And it's still, in my opinion, even in 2024, the best street/snapshot camera. However, this camera is packed with so many features that make it also a very excellent lightweight travel camera, and I have shared all these excellent hidden features in this video, so please take a look if you are into GR3 or 3X cameras, or if you are thinking about buying one. The lens on the Ricoh GR3X is very sharp, but it's only f2.8, and that may not be enough for everyone. However, for street photography or snap shooting, in most cases you'll want a little bit more depth of field rather than less depth of field. The bird likes me. For those low light situations, there is in-body stabilizer, so you don't have to go crazy high ISO as soon as the light levels drop. The Viltrox 27mm F1.2 and the Sony a6700 that I'm still using to film this video is another great 40mm equivalent lens camera combo. And by the way, this Viltrox lens is also available for the Fuji X and for the Nikon Z mount. This is pretty big for an APS-C lens, but then again it's f1.2 and it has pretty much all the features that you can hope for. It has aperturing that you can declick, it has one programmable button, and it has autofocus, manual focus switch. And it's not an expensive lens. I have a review of this lens, put it up here, just in case you haven't seen that video, please take a look. So this is not the smallest APS-C lens, and I would never mount this or would not recommend this for any of the very small APS-C camera bodies, but mounted on the Sony a6700, for example, it's still quite a manageable combination and quite convenient to carry around if you are photo walking or something like that. This Viltrox 27mm F1.2 equals to about 40mm F1.8 full frame lens, and it offers by far the best subject separation of these three lens camera combos that I have in this video. Some people might say that this is way too big for an APS-C lens, and you can get a similar equivalent full frame lens that is much smaller than this. But I still think this makes sense if you already own an APS-C camera or camera system and you maybe want one fast aperture prime lens, then this makes a lot of sense. And like I said, this is not an expensive lens at all, and it's very, very good optically. It's very, very sharp and weather sealed and all that, so you get a very good value for money. Oh, only 3 legs.
Yeah. I didn't want to interrupt your video.
No problem. And then we have the Sony 40mm F2.5, which is by far my favorite full frame lens currently. And the reason why I like this lens so much, that it's so super lightweight, super compact. It's essentially micro four thirds size. And even with this Sony a7 Mark IV, it makes a really, really lightweight full frame combination that is a pleasure to carry around all day long if I'm street shooting or photo walking or whatever photography I'm doing. This is not the cheapest lens, but you get what you pay for. The build quality is absolutely premium. It has all the features that you need: aperturing that you can declick, programmable button, autofocus, manual focus, switch, weather sealing, and very, very super fast, reliable autofocus on top of that. The optical performance is also top-notch. You'll get very, very sharp pictures on this lens if you just know what you're doing. It's only f2.5, but on a full-frame camera that's not any kind of an issue, even in low light. And if you're shooting travel, street photos or something like that, you'll probably shoot mostly at f5.6, f8 anyway. Please do share your opinion on 40mm in the comments down below. Do you own a 40mm or equivalent prime lens? Is it your favorite, or did you buy one and decided to get rid of it because it was not for you? I'd like to hear your opinion. Please do share it down below. And of course we have to make a quick depth of field / bokeh test also. I'm gonna use the park bench behind me as my main subject, or my subject. And here is the picture from the Ricoh GR3x. Here is the picture from the full-frame Sony 40mm F2.5. And finally, here's the picture from the Viltrox 27mm F1.2. As we can see, the Viltrox F1.2 has by far the best subject separation, and it can offer the shallowest depth of field of all these 3 lenses. And of course all the pictures were shot at wide open aperture. And for what kind of photography would I choose one of these 3 camera lens combinations? The Ricoh GR3x would be perfect camera for traveling light. And as a matter of fact, I have a video topic covering that up here. Please take a look. In the spring 2022, I went to Portugal for a couple of weeks, and I had this camera and the regular GR3 with me, no other cameras, and I had a good fun. If APS-C was my main format and I was into low light photography, low light street or any kind of low light photography, then I would definitely choose this Viltrox 27mm F1.2. It's one of the best f1.2 lenses for APS-C cameras. However, for street photography, I would probably choose another more compact lens. There are some nice compact appealing options, and for street photography f1.2 is not necessary. However, this is still a very good lens, and if you need or want f1.2 for your APS-C camera, this is definitely worth a look. And if full frame was my main format and I wanted to travel light, then this Sony 40mm F2.5 would definitely be my choice of lens. This is a super nice compact combo, like I already said in this video earlier, and this could well be my only lens for this camera for the rest of my life. It's so good, and I love this 40mm angle of view. That being said, I'd be very happy to use any of these 3 camera lens combinations as my only camera setup for the rest of my life. I love this 40mm angle of view, and it would be enough for the type of photography that I like to do. That's all I have for you guys in this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video entertaining or useful, please do consider buying me a cup of coffee. There's a link down below for that if you don't live in Finland. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon in the next one.